Evet, herkese merhaba. Burada hemen episodes diyeceğiz. Buradan episode 2'ye geçeceğiz. Bu şekilde geçiyorum çünkü eee episode 2 için kayıt alırken bir sıkıntı yaşandı. O yüzden tekrar kaydetmem gerekti. O yüzden buradan start over diyerek episode 2'den devam ediyoruz. Previously on The Last Door. Wakefield and Kaufman followed the only clue they had on David's location, the recipient of Anthony's disturbing letter, Alexandre Dupre. Wakefield visited the East Hill Asylum to gather some information on Dupre's past. Wakefield discovered that Dupre was the leader of a secret society known as the Playwright. He learned that they practiced rituals with the goal of peering through the veil, the line that separates the common world from an outer void full of horrors. Bak bu işte tam kutulu mitos konseptinde anlattığım şey. Yani e, ne demiştik orada? Bizim standart bir algımız var. Bir de e, yeryüzünün kendi düzeni var. Kozmik seviyelerde. Ve bunların arasında bir perde olduğundan bahsediyorum. Bu da tam olarak ondan bahsediyor. İşte burada çizgi diyor. Ben perde diyorum. Benim anlatımımda perde aralanmaya başlar ve sen buna maruz kalırsın. Buradaysa mevzu bu arkadaşlar çizginin ötesine geçmeye çalışıyorlar. Güzel bir yaklaşım. One of East Hill's patients turned out to be a member of the Playwright, but she escaped the asylum. Wakefield and Kaufman followed her to her hideout, a cabin in the mountains, when suddenly a big flock of birds appeared. Sonra çat çat çat. I must forget nothing. Everything must be set. When the time comes, and I am visited again. For a moment, the sky was dark. We heard the calls of 1,000 birds, but another sound rose above them. A sound I cannot describe. What? What just happened in here? Where is Miss Coney? We are too late. Bu arada sıkıntı çıkan kayıtta yazıyı okuyamamıştım. Burada tamamını okudum, güzel oldu. It is ashes. The windows are covered with wooden planks. It looks as if she were trying to keep someone from entering, or something from getting out. Chalk, a circle, drawn hastily on the floor. She thought it could prevent what she knew was about to happen, but she was wrong. I do not know what to make of all of this. All this. I do. Are you alright Kaufman? Bak burada aslında bir şey var. Ee, kelime oyunu var. Neden? Çünkü kaf öksürmek. Adamın ismi de Kaufman. Öksürdü falan. It is nothing my friend. Just a bit of a cold. Now, my friend, I think we should talk. In light of the events we have recently witnessed, the matter cannot be delayed any further. You must make an important decision. It is not yet too late to go back to our daily lives. If you do not want to continue, you must forget all about your patient, Jeremiah Dewitt. You will have to keep to yourself everything you have learned about the mystery of his disappearance and never talk about it again. But should you wish to continue this search, you will need to accept the consequences, whatever they may be. Please do not take this decision lightly. The path ahead is not without peril. You know my answer already, Kaufman. I must know what happened to David. So be it then. As you may have already realized, this matter involving your patient transcends the limits of psychiatry as we know it. We are not dealing with the effects of trauma or the demons of the subconscious, at least not in the terms we are used to. We are dealing with something old, something dark. A sinister truth that has been buried deep for generations. This man, Alexandre Dupre, and his organization, I think they seek to uncover these secrets, and I fear they might have already. Miss Carney's fate, whatever it was, must be related somehow, but my knowledge of this area is simply not sufficient. We must pay a visit to an old friend, someone I never thought I would want to see again, the man who introduced me to the extended scientific field of the occult, my mentor, Professor Adam Wright. Season 2, Episode 2, My Dearest Visitor. Ve yolumuz Wickport'ta Wright Manor'a doğru devam eder. I doubt he is away at the time of day. At this time of day. Perhaps he cannot hear us from the front. Let us try the back door. Mrs. Oakwood. She is the manor's housekeeper. Yes? Who is it? Good morning, Mrs. Oakwood. Don't you remember me? Why, Dr. Kaufman. Bless my soul, it's been so long. I hardly recognize you. How nice to see you again. Allow me to introduce my colleague, Dr. John Wakefield. Is the professor at home? You would like to see him. Oh, yes, doctor, of course. I'm quite forgetting myself. Let me take you to him. It is really good of you to come. He receives so few visitors these days on account of his condition. His condition? Oh, sir, I'm right, sorry. I thought you knew. The professor, he suffers from an ailment afflicting his brain. He is now entirely confined to his bed. Professor Wright, you have visitors. One of them is your old friend. Look, look. Do you recognize him? It is Johann, Professor, your old pupil. I reckon he does remember you, Johann. It has been a long time since I have seen him so excited. I will leave you two to talk to the professor. It may be difficult to keep him on one subject for long, but oh, it does him such a world of good to speak with old friends. Should you need my assistance, I will be in the backyard. And der ve gider. Professor? Uncle James, you are back. It is I, Professor Johann Kaufmann. Where is father? Where has he been taken? He suffers from some kind of memory loss. Yes, I'm afraid he will not tell us much in this state. If we could first stimulate his memories, maybe then he could tell us of his research, something to unravel the mystery of the playwright. Perhaps we have few other options in any case. Let us try. Why don't you explore the manor? There may be some object we can use to jog the professor's memory. Meanwhile, I'll try and talk to him about the time we researched together. That could also help him remember. Şimdi ben tabii birazcık inisiyatifli hareket etmeye çalışacağım. Yani oynayabildiğim yere kadarki kısmı biraz hızlı geçmeye çalışacağım. Önce şuna bir bakalım. A portrait of Professor Wright. His appearance was quite different back then. An imposing, inquisitive figure. Bakın burası kilitli. Her şeyi çok net hatırlamıyorum. Araya biraz zaman koyayım istedim çünkü. O yüzden videolarda biraz gecikti aslında. A tin soldier. It looks to have been painted by hand. It commemorates some military campaign that I have not heard of. Aynı zamanda yanımıza da alabiliyoruz. Could it hold some special significance to Professor Wright? Perhaps it will help stimulate his memories. Cepledik ve gidiyoruz. Father. Do you recognize this, Professor Wright? Sergeant Downing was sent to the front. The man that returned was not Sergeant Downing. My dearest visitor. He will know where to look. Oh, what a time we will have. Your visitor? What do you mean, Professor? He will have seen the map, and he will know the book of travels. The book of travels? Yes, yes, he will work it out, but it must not be too easy, no. But he will find a prize, I am sure. Prize? What on earth is he talking about, Kaufman? Something concealed, something precious. In his adult state, could he have hidden away parts of his research? He was always a proud man. He would not easily have forgotten his most groundbreaking work. A sense of its grave importance at least would have remained. In his confusion, Perhaps he has hauled it away somewhere for this dearest visitor of his to find. Why don't you explore the manor? Perhaps something will relate to these latest ramblings. Meanwhile, I will continue my endeavors to revive his memory through conversation. Şimdi Book of Travels dedi. Biz az önce neredeydik? Kidiphanedeydik. O yüzden Kidiphane'ye gidiyoruz. There is a large volume here, quite worn. It's an illustrated edition of the Travels of Marco Polo. Marco Polo. Perhaps this is the book of travels that Professor Wright mentioned. There's a mark on one of the pages. We began our journey by crossing the unforgiving desert, always facing the setting sun. At last, we arrived at the merciful side of the great ocean. We followed the coast north, in dear hope of reaching our home soon. It was not to be. The king of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khan, so we were forced to return as we had come. Uh, we never set foot in that bloody land again. We knew there was a part just a few miles to the south, where we could find a boat. Our sea voyage was short, as our sails billowed with the powerful southern winds. We reached the most eastern cape and landed there. Our backs to the sea, we marched forth and soon reached home. A globe. The surface is extraordinarily detailed. Judging by the strange shape of the continents, this must derive from a fictional work or some prehistoric era. Şimdi çölde başlıyor, kıyıya gidiyor, yukarı çıkıyor, geri gönderiliyor. Sonra şansını buradan deniyor, buraya geliyor. Hikayeyi takip edince bunu açabiliyoruz. It seems I have triggered a hidden mechanism. A small compartment has opened in a globe. There's a sealed letter inside. It is simply addressed to my dearest visitor. Kaufman needs to see this before it is opened. Kaufman, look, I found an envelope. It was hidden inside a glove that a strange mechanism opened. To my dearest visitor. Let us see what is inside. Exactly. This is another part of an intricate riddle. But to what purpose? To conceal something, perhaps? Or just the last acts of a confused and drowning mind? I'm increasingly of the opinion that this is some mental construct, some riddle conjured up by the professor's failing mind. He may not have he may not have even understood what he hid. Those seeking wisdom must first know their own foolishness. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal what the cold eye of logic sees not. A riddle. And who would that visitor be? That is unknown to me, my friend. There's only one way to answer that question. If we can find the answer to the professor's riddle, perhaps we will be able to solve this mystery. It's locked. The sign on the door reads attic. Tam burası tavan arası, burası neresi? Reflect on yourself, said the riddle, and the cold eye of logic sees none. Could there be something here, hidden somehow? Yapabiliyor muyuz? Suyu açabiliyor muyuz? A large porcelain tub, its hefty weight supported on four blackened iron feet. A thin ring of damp residue around its interior suggests recent use. A common radiator. It won't open. Biliyorsunuz bu tür oyunlarda sürekli karşılaştığımız ifadeler. It won't budge. It won't open. Old teapot. Glass jars filled with spices and pickled food. There's a matchbox here too. Evet, matchbox'ı cepleyelim. Burası kapalı basement. Ekmek fırını. Bu abla bir şey biliyor. May I ask you something, Mrs. Arkwood? Of course, doctor. How did the professor become afflicted? The ailment runs in his family. Mr. Wright suffers from it, as did his father and grandmother before him. It is truly a terrible thing, and to think all these years Mr. Wright knew what would become of him. May God have pity on his poor soul. What this ailment that runs in Professor Wright's family, do you know what its symptoms are? Well, I can speak those very long words physicians use, but I can tell you what I see in him. Professor Wright hardly remembers a thing from the last 40 years. It is like he is a child again. With God's mercy, it has now gone so far that it torments him no longer. Do you know, is the professor fond of puzzles or riddles? Indeed, yes, he has long been an enthusiast of every mind game you can imagine. In better days, he would host parties every other month, themed soirees, he called them. Oh, those were good times. It seems long ago now. I will leave it to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, Miss Dr. Wakefield. Şimdi bunu alıp ay tam Hatay sandık içi olduk ya. Şimdi ocağın altını yakıyorum. Çaydanlığı ocağa ekliyorum. Güzelce ısıtıyorum. Bakın bu galiba timer gibi bir şey. Evet. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal knowledge that the cold eye of logic sees not. Condensation from the teapot's steam has revealed a hidden message. I will add this clue to the letter. Those seeking wisdom must first know their own foolishness. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal what the cold eye of logic sees not. Knowing yourself, you may look upon your master, meet his imposing gaze, and seek to understand what lies beneath. Thereby, learn the question, if not the final answer. Burada ne diyor? Bak, look upon your master diyor. Meet his imposing gaze. Tabii ki de tablo. Tablo. Look upon your master, meet not only his imposing gaze, but seek to understand what lies beneath. As I suspected, there is a small key taped to the back of the picture frame, and a note. I'll add this clue to the letter. Böyle biraz ipucu avcılığı yaşıyoruz. The question is the world. The question is the world from the peak of man's tallest tower. The answer yearns up to it from the root of life and time itself. Tallest tower dediğine göre biz burada tavan arası bulmuştuk. Oraya gidiyoruz. Altın anahtar. Anahtar elimde. Hip hop bir bomba. Some kind of round mechanism. An unusual electrical device. I'm unfamiliar with this function, but I can tell that there's a piece of equipment missing. Bir şeyler eksik bunda. Dışarıya baktık. The answer yearns up to it from the very root of life and time itself. I should check if there's something hidden near that tree. Hemen gidip bakalım. A thick layer of ice covers the pool of water. It looks as though something has been concealed beneath the thick roots. Hadi bakın bir el atalım. Bici bici bici bici ne varmış orada? Another note and a key bound together. I'll add this clue to the letter. Neyse bakalım. Then you will be ready to climb to the tallest heights and from there to look down to the deepest roots. It is a truth our ancestors knew and with stone silence came to unknow. This key has been engraved with the shape of a feather. Ben buraları biraz böyle hızlı hızlı oynadım ama siz bu oyunu oynarken veya bir tanıdığınızı oynatırken kesinlikle her tarafa dikkatlice bakmasını söyleyin. Çünkü buradan birazcık daha devam edilmiş olsaydı şu sesi duyacaktık zaten. Ve tüy şeyli enahtarında bu kapıyı açacağını bilirdik. An embroidered cloth covers this cage. On it is written, "If the birds are silent." The phrase trails off. The bird inside this cage has yellowish brown feathers. The sign on the cage reads, "Carduelis flavirostris." Peki. Şimdi şurada bir statü var. Heykel, büst var. A truth that our ancestors knew and through stone silence came to unknow. There's a small compartment in the base of the bust. Inside this, a note that only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. Primal horror? Bunu bunun üzerine atabiliyor muyuz? Hayır. Bak, biz ne yapacağımızı hatırlamıyorum. Oyunun nerede kesildiğini de hatırlamıyorum. Ama Primal Horror dediği şeyin ne olduğunu hatırlıyorum. Ön kapıyı açtığımızda burada şeyler var, aslanlar var. Only by entering gnashing jaws of primal horror. There's something hidden in the lion's mouth, a lever. I think it has triggered some mechanism inside the manor. There is also a note in here. I'll add this clue to the letter. That only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror will you at last know truth. Could this be the last part of the riddle? Belki de. Ah, a secret passage has opened at the end of the corridor. This looks like Professor Wright's archive. I should bring Kaufman here at once. Experiments. 1885. Let us see. Have a look at this. Be careful. There is a small key inside the folder. 1st August 1885. Results at last. After many months of tedious observation, something has finally come from the other side. I heard the sound of footsteps exploring the proximity of the stone archway. This would seem to verify my hypothesis. Absolute horror is the key that we seek. 20th September 1885. Now that they have proven themselves useful, I have installed 2 new devices in the outer tunnels. I dare not to go deeper. I have not heard it again, but I know the thing must be still down there in the dark. 12th November 1885. Containment in the underground tunnel has been breached, and blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah gone. 15th December 1885. I have no choice but to abort the experiment. It can no longer be controlled. There is but one thing left to do. I will seal the tunnel and hope that the abomination remains forever entombed within. What? What is this supposed to be? It seems to be a log that the professor kept during one of his experiments almost 7 years ago. It is noteworthy that one of the entries has been redacted. But what is written in there? It cannot be true. It must be some kind of hallucination. A sign of Professor Wright's illness, maybe. Perhaps, though we should not jump to conclusions. We can conclude that the professor had another working place, underground. Perhaps that key opens the basement door. There could be a route through to this underground tunnel. Meanwhile, I will keep looking through these documents. There must be something more than that folder among this mess. There's some kind of metallic hatch on the wall. There seems to be no handle on it. A set of framed silhouettes. Under each is an inscribed plaque. Ne diyor bakalım? Mr. Strachan was a well-positioned man. He fell madly in love with the younger daughter of the Bartleys, and so he proposed to her. Young Agnes fancied the idea of marrying an older man, but she always hid her feelings from her mother. Mrs. Bartley never take her eyes off her daughter and watch them all the times. Mr. Bartley tried to show his support for their daughter, but his wife never paid any attention to him. Şimdi bu böyle. Böyle. Bir yaşlı adam oldu hani sakallı makallı falan. Bu abla da buna bakıyor. Bunlar aşıklar. Annesi de bunu izliyor. O da buradan support vermeye çalışıyor ama hanımefendi ignore ediyor. Çok basit bulmaca. A compartment has opened in the wall. Evet. Bu şekillerin ne olduğunu bilmiyoruz. Şimdi anahtarımız olduğuna göre dur bakayım. Sanki yukarıda bir tane vardı bunlardan. Evet. Bir tane burada var. Bir tane de dışarıda var. Bunlardan 3 tane bulduk yani. Dışarıda dediğimi de hatta şey olsun, videoda olsun diye göstereyim. Buradan dışarı çıktığımızda daha şeydeyken, introdayken şurada bir buton olduğunu görüyorduk. Böylelikle basemen. It's completely dark in here. I feel a cold draft coming from the front. Çok karanlık, seni duyamıyorum. Hadi bakalım nereye kadar dayanacak. I run out of matches. Sıçtık mı, nedir bu? Bu durumu ilk defa yaşıyorum bu arada. Benim gidip fener falan bir şey bulmam lazım. What the fuck? I've fallen through a hole. Where am I? A flow of air is stronger here. Ve el fenerime. Working lantern. Now I can get out of here safely. This part of the tunnel is blocked by a cave-in. The underground tunnel is not accessible from here. I should go back. Thank goodness, a ladder. Aha, bu ne? Bu nedir? It looks like a component of some sort of machine. Ha, şeye takacağız. Başka bir şey var mı bakabileceğimiz? Bunlar figür değil mi ya? Birileri varmış gibi değil mi? Ya da bir takım böyle hayvanımsı bir şeyler, gargoylumsu bir şeyler falan. Ha, bir tane de burada varmış. Açık kapı dursun, ne olur ne olmaz. Öbür tarafa geçebiliyor muyuz? Hayır. Ne yürüdük bir arkadaş ya. This old furniture has been left here to rot. If we cannot access the tunnel mentioned in Professor Wright's log, how can we find the missing parts of his research? I must talk to Kaufman about this. I was able to use a key to explore the basement. There's a large hole in the floor. One side of the hole may lead to some sort of tunnel, but it was completely covered in rocks and debris, so I could not tell for sure. Covered in debris? It sounds as if the professor succeeded in blocking the entrance to this underground area. Hmm. It is unfortunate for us. I have made some progress on my own, my friend. I think this could help us elucidate the next step in our search. Have a look. Today, a meeting finally took place. You see, Mr. Wright, our organization is keenly interested in your research. We could reach an agreement to fund this project. But first, we need to know the details. I understand. The main factor is the condition of the test subject, how open he is to suggestion. As you know, only the human mind can open a physical passage to the other side. So, a complete, absolute darkness will be required for the experience to result. A secluded place, completely isolated. A place that can only bring thoughts of what may be hidden in the dark. I have the perfect location in mind. But in total darkness and seclusion, how could the results of the experiment be studied or confirmed? That is precisely where your organization can provide help. I have designed a special device that will allow me to listen from a safe distance, but I lack the means of manufacturing it myself. That we could arrange. But there's one last thing I would like to know. How would the experience be triggered? By means of a chemical compound of some kind? Do you mean a serum? Not at all. That will be of no elegance whatsoever. The trigger is the mind itself, the emotion known as terror, the primal fear that still survives in the depths of our mind from the times humans were mere beasts. That which allows us to open a physical passage beyond the veil of rational thought. Primal terror is the key that we will use to open the last door. Herkes son kapıyı açmak istiyor. Could this organization be the playwright? It might be, my friend. If so, then we are closer to the truth than we thought. But in this room, I have been able to find only some fragments of information, discarded material. It looks it looks as if the main bulk of documents were moved from this room and hidden somewhere else. The basement tunnel. That seems the most reasonable conclusion. Where access to that place is lost, is it not? The entrance was sealed. There may be other access that we do not know about. If we could find and use the device that the professor mentions in his log, I believe we could shed some light to this matter. Piles of papers of all kinds, discarded notes, letters, and receipts, all mixed up. Many folders, they have no distinctive tag on them. I think it will work now. The sound. Do my ears deceive me? Is that a piano melody? I must see Kaufman at once. Not to state the obvious, but it sounds as someone is still down there playing the piano of all things. But how is that even remotely possible? I do not know, but this means something important to us. It means there's another entrance to the underground tunnel, and that we must find it. But we have run out of leads. You did not find anything of use in the archive, and Professor Wright continues to mutter incoherently about childhood memories. You must hypnotize the Professor, mein lieber Freund. We are running out of options. This might be the only way to find the answers we seek. Ben mi hipnotize ediyorum? Look at this candle. Fix your eyes upon it. Your body is as light as a feather. Everything around you fades. You are entering a dark, endless void. Bayağı mıç mıç yapıyor şeyle mumla. Lanet olsun ya. Listen to my voice. Where are you? A great number of trees surround me. The sun is setting soon. I can go north and west. I stand beside a waterfall. It is not water that falls, but mud and rock from a great height. They fall and fall into a bottomless abyss. Behind the waterfall, to the east, lies a tunnel. To the west, I see the edge of the forest. Ne demişti? East. Tüneli bulmaya çalışıyoruz ya. I am in a dark tunnel. Oscar is here as well. He is upset. He yells at me. He begs me to stop. The tunnel divides into many passages. I can go north, south, and west. Ha, geri döndük pardon. Ee, North. I'm in a large open space with piano. Something stands next to the piano. I can see it. I can't see it clearly. Its face. The tunnel stretches into the dark. Walk down the tunnel. It is a very small room. In the center lies a deep pit. A ladder goes down. It is so dark. Down there it lies. It waits. I will not continue. I must go back. Go down the ladder. I cannot. I can hear it with me. Its breath. Dear God, I must flee. You must continue. It waits. It waits for me. It waits down there. I have gone. I have gone down the ladder. I cannot see. It is pitch dark. I. I can feel its breath. It is here. It is with me. Fuck you. Ödüm koptu. Enough. We went too far, my friend. You're right. I did not think he would react this way. You did well by stopping the trance, Kaufman. I think it would be best if we leave it for today. Let us return to the inn. Reflect tonight on what we have witnessed here. Tomorrow let's discuss the next steps in our investigation. January 21st, 1893. Come in. Kaufman, are you alright? Worry not, Wakefield. I am just feeling a bit feeble. It must be all this cold and humidity. Nothing serious. I would like to know your opinion about what we heard during yesterday's session. Do you remember anything that could help us in our search? I believe that this underground tunnel has left a deep impression on Professor Wright's subconscious. I agree. The horrors he experienced at the end of the session was far too intense to derive solely from his imaginations. It speaks of some trauma. Professor Wright mentioned a man that shouted at him near the entrance to the tunnel, begging him not to continue. I cannot remember his name. Very good. It was Oscar. We should attempt to find him. He may know something about Professor Wright's fears. If we can find this man, I am sure we will shed some light upon the mystery. Why don't you go to the village and try to find out something about Oscar? My apologies, but I must stay here and recover my strength. Okay. Şu anda elimizde Wigport Inn var. Town Square'a gidiyoruz. Ocağın altını yakıyoruz. Neyse. The Fisherman's Lodge. You can cross the sea. Good morning. Let me drink in peace. Are you a ship captain? Why, what is it to you? Does that look like a captain? But because of the hat you're wearing. Ha, a hat don't make a captain, Tony. You can buy a hat like this and fly this in any flea market in England. Because of your coarse skin, weathered by years of salt and wind. You met many folk in Bigfoot, yeah? It's common enough around these parts. Because of your hands, closed by years of knotting rope and reeling in line. Any fisherman has hands like these. Your three earrings. Because of the three earrings you're wearing, you have doubled the three capes. Is that right? Indeed, I have. Good hope, Lewin, and Horn. Therefore, I hold the right to stand before kings and to piss against the wind. If I died in the sea, these three rings all pay my wage. But no, that'll not happen now. You mean you will not set sail again? I love the sea more than anything. It is my passion, my freedom, and my life. But there are many things about him that we do not know. There are, far from the coast, in the deep dark, things we are still unprepared to behold. Believe me, those things are way deep down. Have you seen any of those things? No, but You may have heard one or two the stories with fishermen tell about things seen out there. It is it is not but tales of our young uns, mere superstition from men too cowardly to face the dark. Any good seaman knows that in a strong wind, a stretched rope can shake and sing. I myself have mistaken such keening on the wall of a child. But there was one time it was nothing of the sort. Then the sea howled. I was, it was not thunder, nor a strong wave clashing up my ship. No, it was like a voice. It spoke to me in a language I cannot describe, a sound muttered by a living something. I called, and I understood. What did you understand? I understood there was no more freedom for me, that the sea now had other lords, and whoever they were, I did know they would not share it. What happened then? As I navigated back to shore, I lost control of my ship in a great storm. The rocks of the cliffs did the rest. I do not know where the remains of my dear Augustine ended up with the passing of years and tides. I looked for them once for many moons, but all I found was this bar and the bottom of an empty glass. I have never returned to the shore since. May she forgive me. Now, leave me be. I will leave you alone to your thoughts. You had the gratitude of me and my whiskey. All that battering worked were worked up a right sore thirst. This lady is dressed rather elegantly for someone who came to drink in a place like this. Those two fishermen have just given me a suspicious look. Bartender. Good morning. You want a drink? What is with the man on the corner? Fred? You can ignore him. He's a sad, lonely drunk. Do you know a man called Oscar? You mean Father Oscar? Well, you can find him in the church when he's not in here. It's right outside. Have you ever met Professor Wright? The professor? Sure. Saw him every other day as a young'un. Always involved in the village. He was la-di-da all right, but folk respected him. He got stuck in. Didn't last though. Shot himself away. Started getting visitors from out of the town. He stopped coming to the village eventually. Last I heard, he'd gone crazy. None of us um, knows for sure though. Been years since I saw him. I must leave. Bottles of rum, dark beer, and a couple of taps of pale ale. Garç garç garç garç. Tam böyle karda yürüme sesi. The window is closed shut. An old rotting boat rests on the shore. The name Providence is written on the side. Bu arada Providence, Lovecraft'ın yaşadığı semtin adı. An old rusty bronze bell, typical of a seafaring vessel, is engraved with the name Augustine. Someone may be able to tell me more about it. This old ship is completely wrecked. O zaman ne diyoruz? Get wrecked diyoruz. Some abandoned wooden planks. Perhaps they are here for repair local fishing boats. Kimse yok. Yok mi? Yok mi? İllara orada bize yok mi? This is the door of the Church of Bigport. It is closed. Ya. Hadi bakalım. Şeye gideceğiz işte. Buraya gideceğiz. Hop. Hop. Augustine. Al sana Augustine. Why the bell is from Augustine? My Augustine. Where on earth did you find it? I found it on the beach, near the shipwreck. I thought I would never see it again. I would clean it and make it shine new. Weekport Beach. Our beach? Why, I must go. I must go straight away. Oh, to be reunited with my poor Augustine. What will remain of her? No, no, I dare not go. Oh, but I must. Good day to you, sir. Bakalım nereye gidiyor. Burada Derdo'ya mı bağladı? Evet. Neither the cracks in your hull nor your flaking paint. None of it matters. You are beautiful as ever, Augustine. Today we will watch the sunset together. Good sir, I cannot put into words what a great service you have rendered this drunken knave. Just as you, a stranger, have brought me to my lost treasure. May this old sailor's spyglass, in whatever way it can, help light the way to yours. Take it. It is a gift from the heart. Al abi, gözlerinin yaşını silersin. Yok. Teleskopumuz oldu. Şimdi burası bitti de geri mi döneceğiz acaba? How are you feeling? I'm feeling alright, my friend. Just a bit tired. I have discovered the identity of the man we seek. Oscar is the priest of Wigsport Parish. The church door is closed. My dear Wakefield, what advice can I offer? A church will not remain closed all day. If you must wait, then do so, and in the meantime talk to the villagers. Perhaps they will reveal something useful about the professor. Okay. I will let you rest. Yerliler, yerliler. Those two fishermen have just given me a suspicious look. Bu kadar mı? Old pictures of the village's inhabitants. An old pastor of a local traditional sport. Yok. Aklıma bir şey gelmiyor. Teleskobu bir şekilde kullanmak lazım ama. No, all but covers the window. Evidently, no one has been here to clear it in a very long time. It is too frosted over the seas inside. Acaba böyle yanıma gelip bak falan mı diyor? Teleskop. Nope. Evet, düşünüyorum nereye gitsek ne yapsak diye. Burada tahtalar falan var. Şimdi elimizde kibrit kutusu var, bez var, lantern var, teleskop var. Ne diyor bakalım? No telescope. It has been rusted by the salt water, but it is still in good condition. Window is closed shut. Um, Yine döndük dolaşıp buraya geldik. Teleskobu sana göstersem, teleskobu sana versem, teleskobu size göstersem, yok. Teleskopla bir yere bakmamız lazım da nereye bakacağız? Yani teleskopla baktığımız yerde muhtemelen o duvardaki şeyleri falan bulacağız. Bak buraları hatırlamıyorum işte. Sadece böyle şerefsizce suratımıza kapı kapattıklarını hatırlıyorum. It's closed. Ay ay. Şey mi atlıyoruz acaba? Ya tamam işte şey gelene kadar birisi gelip orayı açana kadar beklememiz lazım diyor da acaba böyle git gel yaparak zaman mı geçirmemiz gerekiyor? Böyle bir şey de olabilir. Yeteri kadar bekledik mi? Oyun. Aha. Excuse me, are you spying on me? I'm sorry, I did not mean to. You are not from this bus, are you? No, I'm just passing through. Are you alright? Yes. Could you do me a favor? Uh, for a long time, I have wanted to visit the tomb of my lover, but I cannot leave the house due to my illness. Could you please leave these flowers there? But no one in this village will do this service for me. Alright. Bir dakika yanlış söyledim. What you can tell me about myself? I have only observed you for a while, but I can tell you you are on an important mission looking for someone dear. There's a worry over your shoulders and a long way ahead of you. Well, that was remarkable. I'm frankly astonished. Uh, I will help you diyelim. Oh, you could not know how grateful I am. You're a good, kind person. You can go to the graveyard through the path right there. The name you need to look for is Carter. Graveyard açıldı. Hadi bakalım. What can you tell me about Captain Morvel? Poor Fred is always drunk. In the old times, when he was not sailing, he had long walks on the beach and looked happy. But now, rare is the occasion when he gives a quick glance at the coast. He has lost all hope. What can you tell me about Father Oscar? He's a man who has lost his purpose. I see him walking aimlessly in the morning and evening, marvelous and doubtful. Okay, let's go. Bak şu an çok kötü bir kondisyondayım. Arada böyle uykum geliyor. O duraklamalar falan hep uykumun gelmesinden. Arada saçma sapan bir şey söylersem de böyle daydreaming tarzı bir şey yaşadığım için söylerim muhtemelen. Carter. Rose Carter. The bells of the church. It seems the priest is calling mass. Go, go, go. Şurada bir 2 saniye duralım. Ben bir su içeyim. Hemen geliyorum. Evet, siz de su için. Bu oyunu kaydettiğim dönem yaz dönemi olduğu için özellikle su içmeye dikkat etmeniz lazım. Kış döneminde de su içmenize dikkat edin tabii. Ama yazın daha önemli çünkü çok terliyoruz, çok su kaybediyoruz. Böyle kamu spotu continue. Good morning. Good morning, my son. Father, why has nobody come to the Mass? The village has been bleak times. Many have left, and the rest have lost their faith. Every day I ring the bells, but no one answers. May God have mercy on their souls. Why do you, s- why do you suppose that it? I could not say. The mist that shrouds this coast and the shapes that swirl within have long been a source of hearsay. But lately, the stories people tell are not of pirates and smugglers, but something more sinister. Some say the devil himself has come to our shore. It is a rumor I dare not disregard. Are you personally acquainted with Professor Wright? Why, yes, of course. Adam was rather is not merely a parishioner, but one of my closest friends. Since our youth, we enjoyed many scholarly, but sometimes quite fervent discussions. He being an anthropologist and myself a theologian. That is, until he fell ill. But since he is like that, I have not visited him. İşte vefasız arkadaş be. I must go, father. Wait a moment, please. I need to ask for a small favor. Please give this to Adam. I don't know if it will mean anything to him now, but it will bring peace to my soul if there is some token of our friendship resting by his side. Aga be. Ve right main'e tekrar açılır. Buraya bir bakarız. Confessional. So Wickport serves a Catholic congregation. This neglected and decaying cross reflects the fate of the villagers all too well. Tabi aynı zamanda şeyin de Blasphemous da herhalde esin kaynağı falan. Çünkü parantez içinde söyleyelim. Blasphemous 1 ve 2 Game Kitchen'dan, yani bu oyunu yapan firmadan çıktı. Zaten pixel art'ın çok güzel kullanılması ve arka planda derin bir hikaye olması mantığından bunu anlamanız mümkün. I have left the flowers on your lover's grave, as you asked. Thank you so much. I'm in your debt. Well, would you happen to know a man named Oscar? Yes, of course. Oscar is the priest of Wickpost Parish. You can find a church right there in front of my house. He is the man who has lost his purpose. I see him walking aimlessly the morning and evening, nervous and doubtful. Let me see. What can you tell me about a mermaid? Eva is a woman with a strong character. Once I saw her kick out a group of drunk sailors from the pub without a doubt. She is in a bad mood lately because business is not what it used to be. She will not leave the village though, as did the others. Bize çok da işe yarar bir şey kalmamış zaten. Hemen şuradan. Yani aslında bütün mevzu main door is closed from the inside. Oğlum biz oraları açtık. Ama teyze de yok. Abo. A cage covered with an embroidered cloth. The end of a phrase is written on it. A visitor will call. It is a simple wooden wardrobe. There is nothing of interest in here. There's a closed chest here. There is a key inside. Yellow key. Sarı anahtarın açtığı kapıyı bulmamız lazım. You won't open. Bunun açılmaz mı? Açılmıyor. Burası tuvalet. The door is locked with a key. Ne? Professor Wright is not here. Professor Wright's dressing gown and slippers. There's an open book on the floor. The Book of Birds. The birds were traveling to meet their king when they reached a crossroads. The wretched crow tried to lead them astray and onto the paths of mists. Many birds followed him and were lost forever beyond that veil. Only the wisdom of the crested hoopoe and the prudence of the red-feathered robin. Dur bakayım, bunları bir not alalım. Red-feathered robin could lead the remaining 28 back onto the path of righteousness. Ever since, the birds have sung their praise, for without the hoopoe and the robin, silence would have fallen forever. Is still snowing outside. Şimdi kuşlu odaya gideceğiz. Kuşlu odada bu ifadeleri uyan tiplerin kafasına şeyleri deneyeceğiz. Aklıma o geliyor çünkü. The fires out. How did this happen? Bir şey vardır belki. Yok mu? Şimdi, sen kimsin? Pulula pulula. Sen kimsin? Forus Cornix. Sen kimsin? Pua Apple. Sen kimsin? Purus Merula. Sen kimsin? Domestic. Porfirio Aleni. Lucina Megarinchos. Carduelis Flavorisis. Şimdi bu Crested Hoopoe'nun ne olduğunu anlamadım. Ama bakalım. Brown Feathers, Elvish Brown Feathers. Pear Brown ne? Pear Brown Breast. Long Legs. Gray Breast. Black with yellow beak. Okay, small bird with black and white wings and a feathered crest. Feathered crest diyor ya. Gray. Orange breast. Bana ne lazım? Red feather lazım. Kırmızı tüy. Brown feathers. Feathers. All the birds have suddenly stopped their chittering. Sounds as if there is someone at the door. Visitor. Me? The door has been opened. Kapı açılamıyor. Kapı içeriden açılmış olmalı değil mi? Biri kapıyı çaldı, birisi de açtı. Anahtarın olsa kapıyı açmaya çalışmazsın. Burada sanki bir not gibi bir şey var gibi duruyor ama yok. Burada bir şey yok. A fierce lion damaged by the harsh weather of the coast. Its head is missing. Öyle döndüresim geldi. Bakın şurada arkada şey vardı. Belki buradalardır. Aha. The clay vessel held by the statue is now broken into many pieces. There is an object among them. It must have been hidden inside. It looks like a compass. It must be broken, since it does not point north. When the four remove their mask of lies, the path to the grave will be cleared. The peasant woman was removed her mask. Daha mesajlarımızı kontrol etmemiz gerekiyor. Evet. Şimdi bakalım içeri girdiğimizde nereye gösterecek? Yok. Burada değil. Bize nereye gösteriyor acaba? Bununla alakalı olmasa gerek. Ah, fotoğrafa bakın. Belki bunda bir şey vardır. The picture of two young men. They could be Professor Wright and Father Oscar. Muhtemel. Peki basement'a gitsek. O kadar alakasız. Dışarı çıkınca şey oluyor ama. Bak şuraya gelince kuzeyi gösteriyor. Buralarda bir şey olması lazım. Ya da tam tersi mi olması lazım acaba? Bununla alakalı da değil. Şimdi biraz düşünelim şurada. Elimizde bir tane pusula var. Bozuk diyor. Kuzeyi göstermiyor diyor. Peki kuzeyi göstermiyorsa nereye gösteriyor? Neresini takip edeceğim bunu yani? Evet. Seemingly random directions. Random directions da nereye yani? Nerelere random? Evet, biraz kafa karıştıran bir mevzu oldu bu. Ama düşünüyorum yani acaba ne olabilir? Yani bunu acaba şeye takabiliyor muyuz? O bir tane meşin vardı diyeceğim ama onu zaten çalıştırdık. Acaba üst katta bir yeri gösterir mi? Buna bir bakalım. Burası nereydi? Bak. Oh God, Mr. Wright. Poor man. It looks as if his heart gave out on him. His eyes, my God, they are fixed with an expression of utmost terror. Let me see. His fists are clenched. He is holding onto something. It is some kind of stone figurine. He is holding it tightly, as if he was protecting from someone. The figurine is beautifully carved, but it appears to be but one half of a larger artifact. Ah, This is serious. I must break the news to Kaufman, and of course the local authorities will have to be informed. Kaufman, what is the matter? Kaufman, don't worry. I have given him a mild sedative. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Armitage. Doktor Armitage mi? Abi sen profesör değil misin? Arkham Arkham diyorum. Miskatonic Üniversitesi'nde. Üniversitesi. Üniversitesinde. The innkeeper called me because he was worried about your friend. Pleased to meet you. I'm Dr. Wakefield. What are Kaufman's symptoms? Strong coughing, general feebleness, dizziness. It is too soon yet for a diagnosis. It could be a simple cold, but the sudden onset and severity of his symptoms is certainly a concern. He must be monitored for the next few hours at least. Do not worry, Dr. Wakefield. I will remain here and take care of your friend. Yüzü. Bir graveyard'a gidelim. Buralara bakalım. Çünkü burada çiçeği koyduk çıktık. Hazır gidilebilir bir yerken. Bury my body with the salted driftwood, with the green seaweeds and the worn out ropes, where I can feel the cold autumn breeze. Gerald Beret. Beleley, leley, leley, leley. Farewell to those of you that walk beside my grave. Here I lie, my name written on stone under the sun. Mary Jane Bennett. Do not bring flowers to this place, for rum is all I crave. Now I rest under the same stars I sailed by when alive. Daniel Aberton. The compass points to this grave. Ah, there's something buried here. An engraved stone. It seems to be only one half of a larger statuette. Peki bunları böyle birleştirebiliyor muyum? Joined together, the two pieces form an intricately carved figurine or idol. It is ancient without a doubt. Okay. Ha, burası devam ediyor. Oo. A windswept, a windswept old gnarly tree is clinging onto the cliff with what roots remain. Someday it will fall into the ocean below. Dayı burada uzakları izliyor. Dayı. Good morning. I am Dr. Wakefield. You come from the town, don't you? You didn't answer. I know. I know by your accent. Be careful around this place. This is no place for tourists. It's hardly a place for anyone now. The man snorts. The man snorts. You best be on your way back. Strange things have been happening here. What do you mean? Seamen and fishermen alike swear to have heard voices in rising tide, in human screams, some of them say. And there are some who claim to have witnessed ungodly things in the dead of night. Well, I once saw a ghastly thing crawling out there almost amongst rocks. Screams, you say? People have heard screams coming from the sea? Bloody drunks. They say the sea howls at them, as if that was something new. That thing, the one you saw in the rocks, can you tell me more about it? Late night it was, me on my boat, fishing. That's when I guessed the best catch. Then I saw it, not under the water, as the others say. It was on a rock, perched there, like it was smelling for something. The shape of it, like nothing like nothing I ever saw before. Not walking on the earth, nor swimming in the sea. The thing was big and hunched over, like a crouching man. The way it moved, it made my flesh crawl. Whatever it was, the mist itself was its ally, hiding it from my bare eyes, and in the end disappearing away together. I swear, should I see that horror again, I will take my most vicious harpoon and thrust it so deep in its wretched body that they will have to bury them together. So, what are you doing up here? I come here when I can to watch the shore, just in case that thing comes back. The mist down there is just too thick. I can see better from here, even if my eyes are not what they used to be. Damn it, if I could somehow regain my once sharp eyesight again, my God, I would impale that abomination for sure. Sana dübel vereyim. Here, would this help you watch the shore? Why, it is all to be sure. But this telescope has been patched up to a rare beauty. You have my thanks, stranger. I am indebted. Hmm. Oh, what is that? On the cliff there. Well, blow me. But if it isn't the Wright's old summer house, I thought it entirely destroyed. It looks like you can get there using the old cliff path. Excuse me, did you say the Wright's summer house? Well, yes. I never saw it myself. I was too young at the time. But everyone round here knows the story well. It was a terrible tragedy, you see. One night there was a landslide just beneath the house. Most of the building fell sheer into the sea, leaving only yonder ruins. Many died, though by a miracle young Master Wright was spared. You can see it from here. Look, right there on the other side of the beach. Do you see it? Teşekkürler canısı. Let's go. These rocks look like the remains of a landslide. Demek ki toprak harbi kaymış. This landscape shows the house as it was before the landslide ruined it. There is a peculiar indentation in the stone. Bunu buraya koyabiliyor muyuz? Ah, it has triggered some secret mechanism. There's a passage behind the fireplace. It seems to lead into the cliff. Tamam ama burada bakacak başka bir şey yok. Pardon. An empty wardrobe. Its wood is rotted from long exposure to the sea air. O zaman this. This must be the entrance to the underground tunnel. I must go on. There's a note on the floor. I must go on. Whatever you find down here, do not stop. Şey gibi Dark Souls'da yerde notlar çıkıyor ya, onun gibi. Kareye basınca zıplıyor mu? Bence kareye basınca zıplamıyor da. Neyse. Ha burada. Evet, to North. Ama burası North mu? It is some viscous substance. It could be some kind of fungus or maybe the decomposed remains of an animal. Tatsız. These are human remains. The flesh is gone, but the bones look undisturbed. How long have they lain here? Why on earth did Professor Wright not alert the authorities? I must press on. What possible research could have led to this? Wow. There's a strange metal device hanging from the ceiling. There's a grand piano placed in the middle of the room. Demin birisi bunu çalıyordu. Hadi bakalım buradan devam. Tamamen random gidiyorum bu arada. A small passage goes into the brick wall. It is too thin to pass through. Ha, doğru yoldayız galiba. What is this place? A strange machine. It does not seem to be working anymore. There's a note on the floor. Who was gone will be back, not the same, but somehow changed, because that which lurks behind the door waits, and no one that has crossed through can hope to escape its blessing. I must tell Kaufman about all of this. These clothes are torn down to unrecognizable shreds. Here is a tag in here with two initials, H.A. There's a large archway carved on the stone wall of the cave. What was that? Part of the wall stone seemed to have dislodged from it, leaving behind a large dark hole. What the shit? The adventure continues in episode 3. My dearest visitor was created thanks to the generous support of players, bla bla bla. Tamam. Evet, böyle cliffhanger bitti. Şey bitmedi yani, bir yere çözümlenerek bitmedi. İlginç oldu, güzel oldu. Arada biraz boşlamalarımız oldu. Bazı yerleri hızlı geçtik, bazı yerleri yavaş geçtik. Biraz öyle olur. Çünkü dediğim gibi bir yere kadar oynamıştım zaten. O yüzden hemen aklımdaydı, bazı şeyler hızlı hızlı yaptım. Ama yine de çok fazla takılmadık. Sağa sola bakarken bu buradaymış, şu şuradaymış. Hemen zaten elimizin altında çıktı. Böylelikle hızlı bir şekilde aslında bitirmiş olduk. İlginç bir bölümdü. Ancak daha gizemleri çözmedik. Daha bir sürü yolumuz var. O zaman şimdilik bu kadar diyelim. Bu videoyu da beğenmeyi ve ilginç bulduğunuz yerlerde yorum yazmayı unutmayın. Arkadaşlarınıza tavsiye etmeyi de unutmayın. Öyle her baba yiğidin oynadığı oyun değildir e, The Last Door. Şimdilik bu kadar. Bir başka bölümde görüşmek üzere.